testing.
She is.
Here we are testing our technical
penis microphone.
Yes. Hi there, and welcome to Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy. I am Roxy, and this is my editing room. And we are coming to you today here because despite testing our lovely pink Yeti microphone, we neglected to unmute it at the beginning. So let's jump right in after we figured out what's going on.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Do that. I should.
Oh, yeah.
I should put the other
we
mic
were on
on
mute
then.
on the mic. Oh, okay then.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about it. What's going
That's
on
okay.
out there, people? Where the heck are you? Anyway, we're just going to drink things and talk about things.
Yep.
And
So this is our first podcast since coming back from vacation because last week we were supposed to do one and I was like suffering
sick.
from the horrible plague that we developed after coming back from vacation, which pretty classic for us, but oh well, better now.
Yep.
Most of the time.
You know, maybe I should go see if we're actually streaming live somewhere.
That would be good.
Let me just go see, because maybe we're just talking to ourselves. Oh, nope, we're here. I see us,
look
man.
at that. Look at
Look
are
at us.
on.
Yep.
This is pretty exciting for us.
Because we know nothing about technology, but don't tell boys because they hold it over you.
But we actually do have lots of interesting stuff to talk about today because we have been thinking about this and talking about it for a while and needing it because this is, whatever this is for you guys, this is a really important thing for us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we get a chance to reconnect. We get a chance to air the airing of the grievances. No, not at all. But just we get to air our thoughts and
share our thoughts.
Share our thoughts.
Aaron.
But it feels a bit like in the end of the week. How are we doing? Check in with each other, check in with ourselves, check in with you guys. So
and by the way, Scruffy's here.
Scruffy, apparently.
Just so you know, Scruffy's here.
Yeah, and probably the next technological issue that happens is one of our three dogs who
leaps
all
across
around
the table
and takes out all of the technology, including the wine glasses and everything. So
yeah. And so we love you guys, but they could take out the technology.
Yep.
They're not getting the wine.
No, they're not getting the wine.
But so we're going to talk about, because what we want you all to do by when, Roxanne, I think we should have dates to this, but we have a little prize, which is 5 little olive oils from Rome. From Italy. I don't know if we actually got them in Rome, but we got them in Italy.
I think we did get them in Rome.
But so 5 little olive oils, and there's 2 kinds of different mushrooms, and there's lemon and basil and
olive oil with
and pepperoncini, which will be a bit spicy. But guess how many pastries Roxy has had? Because
tasted.
That's right.
I didn't necessarily eat everything because otherwise I would have come back. They would have needed another plane for me, but.
Yes,
it was.
But we tasted lots of pastries, and we're going to, in the next podcast 2 weeks from now, we're going to announce the winner. So I think the Wednesday before the next podcast, and we'll put this up on the Facebook page and in the show notes. But you need to tell us your guess, and whoever is either the closest or hits it will get this little olive oil package sent to them. So we have to get you guys to do that because. There was a lot of pastry tasting.
There was a lot of pastry tasting, yeah. And we posted a bunch of pictures
but not
in
all
various
of them.
places, but not all of them, of some of the stuff that we tasted. The food was just out of this world. And I have one that I want to try making, which is I think it's called Bugazza. We put it in our last podcast. Is that the one? It's it's a phyllo pastry with a custard on the inside.
With the custard. Yeah, right? That was
it's
really
like
good.
The breakfast pastry of
it was
Rome,
fabulous.
I think she's coming up. Better
come on, you can come, Luna. Where are you going?
Just go somewhere else.
It's Dogtown.
Yeah, it's Dogtown, all right.
But so yeah, and we're gonna make cacio e pepe. I hope I said that right for any of our Italian. But I'm a little obsessed with that. Actually, tonight we got a new pizza oven because
she says we. I love how she says we.
Well, I won a little bit of money in the casino on the ship.
You had a very good night. That was really fun.
You ended up having pretty good nights too, right?
I did.
But as soon as I won, it was like, we're getting a pizza oven. So we're making pizza, but there's how do you say it? Cacio e pepe.
Cacio e pepe.
So there's a cacio e pepe pizza.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, and I printed out the recipe.
Oh, we're making that.
So we're going to make that.
Oh.
So we're a little obsessed with pizza right now, I have to say.
Oh yeah, that's good. And this is kind of awesome for me because part of the flu that we had, and then I had a minor eye procedure done just a couple days ago. That means I have to take eye drops, and they have done something to my appetite. The eye drops leave a bad taste in the back of my mouth, and the flu that we had, I did not want to eat anything. So when I'm actually excited about eating something right now, it's like,
good
oh
thing.
Yeah, that's good. I want that.
Nope, it's a good thing. I'm just going to check, see if anybody's talking to us or where the heck you people are, man. But it's okay, because we know not everybody can make it, right?
This is new for us, so
yeah,
we know that we're
fun.
Building our audience and figuring stuff out.
Roxanne's backyard is very private.
Yeah.
And it's very lovely and gardeny and flowery, and mine is a little bit, and I say this with love, trailer park trashy. Like, it's got flamingos, and it's mine is the party yard, and yours is the sophisticated garden.
Come and relax.
The garden wine bar.
The garden lounge.
Yes.
The garden lounge, yes.
Yep.
But you also have more sun in yours. Like, we get the just the way we're situated with the valley and the trees around us. We have, well, you can see it behind us. We've got a lot of green cover here, so it's quite, in the heat of the summer, it's very lovely. But right now, I just took my sweater off. You're still a little bit chilly,
yeah,
but
I'm chilly.
Like at your place, we'd probably be warm enough.
Oh, it's
because
hot.
you've got
Yeah.
the sun,
and it
right?
is. It's hot. But I have to tell you, so when spring comes and Roxanne is in her full glory, I have to say, it's like you walk along and I'm like, oh, look at that pretty tree. It's a blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, look at those flowers. They're blah, blah, blahs. And she knows all these things. And then I'm like, look at this, what I bought. I'm going to plant it here. She's like, you can't plant it there. That's too much sun for that. You got to plant it over there. Like, thank goodness for her, because, and I have to say, so my sister is a bit of a gardener too. And last year she sent us wildflowers, and we're going to do it again. But it's also one of those where it's like, when you're surrounded by people who understand things, you're really grateful, because I would put things that, what the heck?
Oh, this is my dog howling.
There must be an airplane or something, or a something going by. But it's really great when you have people who understand stuff.
I could say I do this all the time with my husband. He's not he's not a plant guy either, and I'll just say that's a Japonica majestica variation of Asia. And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, no, that's just bullshit. Do you not hear my voice here? But I can say whatever I want, and they believe me. So how do they know?
But the fact is, she
how
actually
do they
does know. No, I can tell when she's like BSing you, she gets a little twinkle in her eye. But when she's talking about a plant, she gets this like scientist stink look in her
I get
eye,
a little
like,
protective. I'm like, oh, no, that one,
Yeah.
no, please don't do that to that plant.
Yeah, so she does. But you're gonna have to drink up so we can pour the bubbles and say your thing.
We have a plant behind us. I don't think you can't quite see it on the screen, but we have a lovely little yew hedge. They planted them in this whole neighborhood. Everybody's got one alongside the front of the house somewhere. And one of ours, for some reason, died. It didn't die, I should say, but it struggled one year. We didn't realize that it had got mounded up with bark mulch a little too deeply, so it drowned, actually. Got too much water on it, and it sat in water and didn't like that. So we've got like green tree, green tree, green tree, green tree, yellow tree, green tree. So it looks really stupid, right? And I was like, no, we can save it. It's okay. I cleared away stuff, and I dug out, rearranged things so that the water won't be a problem for it. All last summer, we looked at this thing looking like sickly tree in the hedge. And
for someone who's been sick for 2 weeks, you shouldn't mock sickly things.
I really shouldn't. But it's coming back. Like, it's really hard to kill these yews, actually. And so I said to my husband, because he's looking at it, he's like, that's ugly, right? And I said, but it's coming back. Like, I'll prune the other ones down so that it can catch up. And in a year or two, you'll never know that it was gone. And he said, we're at an age where
a year or two matters.
We need to enjoy things like right now. So I don't want to wait a year or two for the hedge to look nice. Can we just replace it? And I said, you're speaking some sense here. I kind of understand.
I hate it when that happens.
I really hate it when that happens too. So this is, my concept of gardening is always delayed gratification. And I'm like, but hold on, how much longer do I want to delay it? I don't have that much time left.
Okay, but I get it, because so last year at Costco, I bought a lemon tree, and it had little lemons on it. I even cut one up. It was like this big. It was like a little tiny thing. It was like it for a dollhouse, and then it died. And I was so sad. And the dead thing is still up in my loft because I'm going to put it outside and I'm hoping it comes back.
It might. I saw it.
I'm going to try.
I
Okay,
saw it
also,
at one
we didn't
point.
say welcome to happy hour.
I did.
Did you?
I
Did you
said
say
welcome.
Did you say your name?
Well, I said welcome to Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy. I'm Roxy. She's Ruth. Welcome.
All of a sudden, it was like we were all kerfuffled. But yes, we're here.
I'm chugging my wine because she's out.
Because I drink
So,
faster than
yeah.
everybody. Okay, so we are going to pour some bubbles. What are we drinking, Rox?
We are drinking.
This is our favorite bubbles.
I've got
and
a little
honestly,
sleeve on it.
They're
but
not
it's-
expensive. You're not even in the camera.
I'm not
frame.
even in the camera. I am up there.
Oh, you're up there. I forgot. Oh, my.
uh-oh.
We just got knocked off. Oh, there we're back.
We're back.
It's because I think I'm still on my Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
okay.
That's a problem.
You know what? It's all just a big experiment, isn't it, people? Anyway, we're drinking bubbles from Stoneboat.
If anybody wants to volunteer to be our producer, we
Yep.
accept all
Yep.
all assistance.
Yeah, and we'll pay you in pizza.
And we'll pay you in
And
pizza.
wine.
So this is a sparkling wine called. Oh, now I'm gonna not be able to get
It's
this
okay.
off here.
It's from Stoneboat.
It's from Stoneboat. We talked about it before because it's our favorite one.
Yep.
We'll put a link to it. So cheers.
Cheers. Happy
Friday.
happy hour.
Happy hour.
Yes. Okay, Roxanne has something to say.
I do. So several weeks ago,
Many
going
weeks
on
ago.
months ago, I put a little teaser out there about some good news that I had that I was very excited about. So I can tell you more now. I won't tell you all the details just yet, but I can share that I have sold film rights to one of my books,
And
which
we're
is
very happy.
kind of a big deal
It
for
is
me.
a big deal. Yay!
So this book is, I'm going to put it up there and then I'll show it down here.
Yep.
It's called Sunset Bay Sanctuary, and it's part of a series of commercial women's fiction novels that I wrote in 2017, 2018, 2019. They came out. And the books have since gone out of print. The publisher did not do very much with them, which is often the case with mid-list authors. They buy books and they throw everything at the wall and then wait to see what
Hope
sticks.
something hits.
And then they put money behind whatever sticks. So you're kind of in a situation where, you know how kids are, I need experience to get a job, but I can't get experience until I get a job.
But
So
wait, let me just jump in as a PR person.
Yeah.
So the challenge with that is that sometimes something hits because the timing is right or stuff, and it doesn't mean it's the best book, right? I mean, you're always happy
Yeah.
for an author that gets it, but sometimes great books go under the radar because
Yeah.
there's not something behind them,
Yeah.
and that's always the challenge of it. But the thing is, it's really hard to push your own books, right?
It's really painful, and most authors feel this way. I really dislike doing promotion for my own books, but I love my books, and I really this series is really close to my heart because it's set on a wellness ranch in Oregon where the people are all damaged in some way, and the main character in the first book is she trains rescue dogs to become therapy dogs, and
so it's things are moving along.
Yeah, so the publisher wasn't doing a lot with these books. So last winter, the time had come in the lifespan of the contract that I could ask for my rights back. So to say, can I have the rights back? I can do with them what I want. And they said they were embarrassingly eager to agree with that. They're like, yeah, sure, we're not using them. Never, go for it. Here you go. When
They're
you want
going to
them.
be sorry now.
So it was literally a month after that where I got a note from my former agent who said, hey, I've gotten a query from a company who's interested in, they want to know if the film rights are available. And I said, ha, I've gotten lots, because it's just part of this business that you get, contacted
Queries.
by a lot of people who may or may not be legitimate. So I just said, oh, sure, yeah, say, yes, forward them to me and I'll talk to them. And it turned out that they were legitimate. They were interested. I won't say who the company is yet because we'll probably be signing the contract next week. But we've been in negotiation from January until now. And I have an entertainment lawyer who's managing the deal for me, and they're looking at hopefully turning it into a limited television series. So it might be a
exciting.
TV series. It could be a feature film. They want it to be a TV series though. So if you like Virgin River, this is what this would probably be along the lines
similar
of.
to.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. I love my
cheers
books,
to
and I
Roxanne.
would love to
And
see
how
them on the
exciting.
big screen.
But this is a testament to you always stayed authentic to who
Yep.
you are as an author,
Yep.
right? You weren't willing to compromise, your vision for what you're writing, including that you go a little deep and you talk about some really important social issues, right? So you could have easily, because you're a great writer and you adapt easily, is you could have gone into whatever the trend was, but you
Yeah.
didn't.
I have. It's a really tricky thing at various stages
Dogs.
in a writer's career. They will often have to face the idea: am I going to write to the market, or am I going to write the story of my heart? And with any luck, those two things align, and the story of your heart is the story that readers want right now. But there's no way to predict that. There's no way to predict what publishers are looking for. So I just write the stories that are important to me and that say something that I feel strongly about, or meet a need that I think is out there for something that maybe isn't being talked about enough, or whatever. So,
And there's nothing wrong with either path.
Oh, for sure.
The thing is, you have to decide who you are, because if you jump back and forth, it's a challenge. And
Yeah.
and the other thing is, I think
if I could have written vampires and vampires never die, as they say, I can't write vampires. That's
Right.
just not my
It's
thing.
not your thing.
If I could, though, I
Yeah.
would probably have another house that was like this house,
Right.
and that we would go visiting in
Right.
Italy more often. But yeah.
But that's just it. But it really is one of those where there are some that can look at a trend and say, hey, I can meet that and do it, and others, like we have it in our little company, right? We can't take on if we don't believe in the client.
Yeah.
If they, and we've had big companies come to us, and it's like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend that your product or your service to anyone. So I don't care how much you want to pay us. But I also think, which doesn't mean we take on only things that are in our heart. But you have to find the balance that works for you, right?
I'm going to take a little break in here and just say hi, Louise, Erin Louise, E.T. Louise.
Oh.
We see you.
That's awesome. Clearly, I'm not paying enough attention.
We're saying hi to Heather Turner-Amell also.
Oh
Thank
my God.
you for checking
How are
in.
you seeing all these things? Why am I not seeing them?
I
What
don't
the heck?
know.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know.
Because I'm useless. That's just exactly what it is.
We
Oh,
love
look,
it that you
that's
guys
so
have popped
awesome.
in to chat
Thank
with us.
you.
That's so great.
Thank you. Although
Yeah,
now I've
and
got it
that's-
playing in
so-
the background, so this is not working for me, man.
And yeah, so I'm really excited. So the next plan for me, I'm currently completing a series for another publisher that will hopefully, I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit later in the podcast. But once I'm finished with those books, my plan is to bring these ones back, because this is the only series that I've had released in mass market paperback so far. So they are currently out of print, but I will bring them back in digital, and hopefully another publisher, once they realize that these will be coming to the screen, will be interested in putting them out in mass market again, so they'll be available for purchase.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
But
that's-
how exciting, right? Everybody raised their little Friday of a long weekend glass to
Woohoo!
Roxanne. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a long, hard slog being an author, but sometimes you get some good news that's kind of fun.
Nope, it's very
And
fun.
this one's been very fun for me. And it may just because a deal has been optioned doesn't mean that it will come to fruition, and I'm aware of that. So I will put that out there too in the universe, just to manage my expectations and yours. But let's all hope that there's no writer's strike in Canada, and that a showrunner is super enthused. They find a location for this, they get financing, and that it goes ahead very quickly.
Yeah, this is just one in a long step. But
Yes,
this is
yes.
a really
Yeah.
big thing, right? Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have had books on the desk of film executives before, and they've been very excited about them, and I've been like, ooh, fingers crossed, and hoping for something to happen, and these things take so long,
Yeah.
and all of the right stars have to align, and some of these other books may hit as well eventually, but at this point, this is the one that seems to be hitting at the moment.
It's awesome.
So, yeah.
Nope, it's really awesome.
Thank you.
And
I'm
it
very
is.
excited. I'm going to get this dog out of the way here. She's just, she's kind of relentless.
Okay, so
Ooh, we're getting other people who are checking
Oh,
in
that's
here.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, just
We love
remember,
this.
put in your votes for how many pastries Roxanne tasted.
Roxanne loves pastries. I'm just going to put that out there.
But she
It's my
did.
favorite
She had
thing.
some self control. I have to say.
Yeah, it
You were
did.
pretty good. There was one point I think where we got 4 or 5 pastries at once because we were at a place that had really cool pastries.
We took a lot of pictures of pastries, and honestly, the pictures were, some of it's like, I don't actually need to taste all of these. I just want to look at them.
They're beautiful.
Now, of course, that I'm home, I want to make them all.
Yeah.
So I will be making baklava, and I'm gonna have to try the bugatsa as well. But baklava, that's on the agenda coming up.
We didn't have, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, the affogato, which is coffee with ice cream. We didn't do that.
We did not do that. We missed
need
that
to go
one.
back.
I know.
That's all
You
it
can't
is.
do everything on a trip, and this is the
Why?
challenge. This is the challenge, though, because it's like life. You can't do all the things and be all the things because you only get to live one life, and this is your slice.
Oh,
that
no,
you
I've
get.
got 15.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, you weird person with mental illness issues.
Okay, so we're going to have a little talk now about how words matter because Roxanne has something else to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So am I talking about my book now, what we talked
Yes.
about before? Yeah, okay. So I mentioned the series that I'm working on right now. I got the revision letter back from my lovely editor, Sinclair. Sinclair, if you're watching, thank you for your brilliant suggestions, as always. And I will honestly get that book into you very soon, truly. Revisions are the worst things ever, but I'm on it. So one of her comments was, this is my dog.
This is Luna. Hey, come here.
She's a howler.
Yep.
She doesn't like my KitchenAid mixer. She doesn't like airplanes. Sirens. Sirens really
Yep.
set her off. So
Yeah,
right now
what are you
there's
doing?
this, I think it's the sound of a
Is it
lawnmower. And she's howling in the background. But anyway, so the book that I'm currently working on, which is called The Maverick Surprise Family, and it's out for pre-order now, and the story is finished. I'm just fine-tuning it right now. But the heroine of this story has it's basically a story of a woman who has a second chance at a life that she didn't think that she could have. She married young, had a child young, then lost her husband, so was a single parent, and then has an opportunity to find love.
Okay, wait.
later in
As
life.
her PR person, you can buy the first 2 books and learn all about what's
You can.
going on here.
That's true.
So just
Yes.
saying, we'll put up links in the show notes.
So
She doesn't like to promote her books.
So she ends up with a surprise pregnancy for various reasons. I swear it's plausible. I make it plausible. But she ends up as a almost 40-year-old woman with an unexpected pregnancy, and she's very happy about this. This is a good surprise for her, but she has to deal with it because it's unexpected. And the partner that she's with at the time, there's all sorts of things about their relationship that have to be dealt with. But she uses a word when she's talking with him because she had issues with infertility earlier on in her marriage. And this is why this pregnancy is very welcome to her. But she says that she suffered many spontaneous abortions early on, and so a pregnancy that lasts for her is a answered prayer. It's a dream come true because she suffered these before. And he says, abortion, oh, you mean miscarriage? And she says, no, I don't use that term because miscarriage, M-I-S, implies
Wrong.
I'm losing my
Error.
words right now. Yeah, error,
Mistake.
error, a mistake,
It's a
right?
standard mistake.
It's a prefix that means you did something wrong, and for a woman to hear, for a woman who said, I did not have fertility issues myself, but I have women friends around. I'm very familiar with how devastating this situation can be. For a woman to hear when she's trying to conceive a child that she has done something wrong, that her body has misfired, has made a mistake, has miscarried this pregnancy, very difficult. When in fact, the medical term for it is an abortion. A spontaneous abortion is when the body aborts, which is just a word that means stops the pregnancy. So a spontaneous abortion is what happens when the body when the pregnancy is not viable and it does not carry to term. Spontaneous abortion. Politically and socially, this word has become tremendously loaded with other meaning. And I am firmly on the side of choice for people to make that decision on their own, based on their doctor's advice, based on their own health. And
based on their life.
Based on their life. That is their decision to make. And so this is the conversation that happens in this book. So my editor said to me, you are going to get pushback on that. You are going to get slammed in social media if you use that word. She said, it's your choice. Obviously, it's your choice as the author to do this, but I don't want you to suffer for this, in reviews. And I'm thinking, what's the harm for me?
Okay, so the other thing is, when she was telling me the story, I'm thinking, have you met Roxanne? Right? Because I think it's really important, and you've always been this person that in your way has stood up for the rights of others and for respect for others, and then we started talking about this, and then what was the other term that you used about like the language around women's bodies and fertility?
So a lot of the times that women can't carry pregnancy to term has to do with a condition that is called cervical incompetence. Okay?
Yeah.
So think about that for a second. Here's a part of your body, here's the neck of your uterus that is meant to stay closed until labor happens and the child is born. It's meant to stay closed, doesn't stay closed for whatever reason. But the medical term for that is cervical incompetence. So not only are you carrying the child wrong if you have a miscarriage, spontaneous abortion, it's because your cervix can't do the work it was meant to do. It's incompetent. This language,
it's harmful language to a human being, right? Like when we started talking about it, and I always put it up when we put these on YouTube. I always put it up that this is not content for children, but it's like, so erectile dysfunction doesn't blame the person. It blames the process, right? Like the language about men's bodies don't talk like this.
No, it doesn't.
Right? And it's like, I know everybody.
How about penile incompetence?
Yeah.
How about let's call it penile incompetence?
Okay, there's like a whole stinking podcast episode about penile incompetence that I'm not going to get into right now. But there's a whole like the language. Words matter, and how you say things matter.
So tell me. So would you be triggered negatively or positively by a conversation that I just described in my book, where she describes using the word spontaneous abortion instead of miscarriage? Would this trigger you? Would this be like, I'm throwing this book against the wall, I'm never reading this author again? Because you know what? If that's the case, you're not my audience, and that's fine with me. But also, if you're like, I've experienced this, and you know what? You're right, and I think this is great. Tell me that too. That would be really helpful because I might need to defend myself to my editor. Well, but that's just
it. But the other thing is in what I understand, you kind of explain it, right? Like you kind of explain why this person doesn't use the term. Yeah. So it feels like a bit of education to me. But I think it's also really important as we move into these times that are so heated that we think about the words that we're using, and we think about how we describe any bodily function, but especially when you think around pregnancy, where it is such a sensitive topic so emotional. And imagine that you're an expectant mother, and they come to you and they're like, oh, miscarriage. What's the subtext your mind takes in, right? What's the message your brain?
The message is I failed,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we have to be, and I know I get in trouble for like slamming the patriarchy all of the time.
Patriarchy needs to be slammed.
But that's just it, right? But the other side is we have to start thinking about the language you use, and what are we teaching young people, right? Yeah. Are you going to check your things now?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see what's going on now? But the other thing is take this a little farther into language. So we were talking about how in our relationships we don't ask, like, my husband golfs a lot, and he never says, "Can I golf?" Because I'm not his mom, right? I'm not doing that. But he'll say, "Hey, would it work for our schedule? Is this how it could go?" Instead of permission. Like I've had people, and I've had lots of women say to me, "Oh, I need. It's not permission, but I need to."
Check with my husband. Or
check with my husband is good, but like, or I need to get permission from my husband, and that makes me cringe because that's language where it's like, they have control of you, and A, they don't, but also you're also sending yourself a message.
Now I'm doing what you did. Now I'm doing what you
Okay,
did.
so we suck at technology.
We really
Seriously,
do.
we need a
Oh my
producer, and we
God.
make really good pizza. You have
No, I love it.
okay.
Oh, Heather says congratulations, thank you. Oh, Beverly, your sister, says
Oh,
hello.
awesome.
And
Hello,
ET
Beverly.
Louise, we know Louise. She's saying facts. Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Thank you guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you guys for checking in.
We were kind of worried
we're
we'd
really-
be here all by
we're really
ourselves.
sucking at this technology.
We do, but we will get better. And you also, as we're going through this, please tell us if this is more fun when we actually figure out technology. And I keep looking at the wrong camera. So
Or is it more fun because we actually don't know what we're doing?
yeah.
There's that.
Or is it better for the edited one, which will go up too? Does that work? And then what are the things we could do better? But let's go back. So we've been having big discussions lately about. There was a meme, and I actually think my sister shared this recently. It was a meme about you go to a party, and there's pizza,
Ooh,
but you
yeah,
look,
this is good.
you look and you see there's probably really not enough for everybody, and so there's kind of, according to this meme, two kinds of people in the world: the one that takes one piece to make sure everybody gets a piece, and the person that takes three because they know there's not enough and they won't get seconds. And so, to me, it's like the person that leaves their grocery cart in the middle of the parking stall thing, right?
Yep.
Like, it's like, to me, that's like when you look around and you realize not everybody's going to get some maybe anyway. I might not even take a slice just because.
You know what? There needs to be a third category there. Person with the big knife who comes and cuts all the pieces
There
into
you go.
smaller
The
pieces.
solution
'Cause
provider.
This is what I would be.
Solving
I'm like,
it.
oh, I mean, I want pizza, but I want to make sure everybody has some. So let's just cut a bunch of pieces tinier.
Okay, but let's talk about the social construct of if the people that walk in and go, oh, there's not going to be
Yeah.
enough, I'm going to
Yeah.
take three. And that made us talk about givers and takers. And in a good relationship, it's got to go both ways, right? And others. And then you start thinking about, I can remember back when I lived in Toronto and I was young and just starting out. And we used to have a buddy that would go out with us, and he would wait until, and we were all, and I have to say my sister taught me how to be a good, I tip well, and she taught me that, but we would all go and we would over tip. And I would watch him after a while. He would wait till everybody put money in because we all over tipped, and then he wouldn't have to put any money in, right? Ooh. And after a while, it was like, I know who you are, so it would be like, hey, Jake, not his real name, you're this is how much you owe with a tip, it's this, right? Because he was a taker. He sat back and he was a like financial predator around people who were generous.
That
right?
is really, that's so interesting to me. That makes me wonder. So I wonder because people are raised in different constructs, right? Like we all grow up swimming in different ponds, and that pond is normal for us, right? So was this person then raised in a pond where scarcity was the norm, where you never knew for sure if you would get enough, where if somebody had lots, the implication was that it came at a cost to you,
right?
Therefore, you've always got to be watching for that. It's a scary way to live because you're always looking for the person who's out to get you.
So that's that's a really kind interpretation of it. He was just a cheap opportunist prick, right? Like honestly, like back in the day, we were all
every villain is the hero of his own story.
No, but that's true. But the other thing is, like back then, it's not like any of us. We were all just starting out. None of us had enough money, but we're going to make sure we treated our server well. We were going to I mean, we always went for happy hour because that's when food was cheap and drinks were cheap. But the other thing is, it makes me wonder if there's something, and this is a good one for people to weigh in on, if there's something that you really want to do, but it will negatively impact somebody else, do you do it? And if you want to do it, how do you deal with that? Do you just do it and the whole ask for forgiveness, not permission?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like how do you do that and not understand that you're harming isn't the right word, but you're negatively affecting somebody else.
Yeah.
In a negative way, right?
Mm-hmm. And this matters to us because like we live in a small gated community where, and for us, when we moved here, we had a fairly large property that we left, a big house and lots of space on either side. So whatever our neighbors did didn't really affect us. And we were at a stage in life where we're like, no, we don't need, we're ready for a smaller house, and more of a sense of community definitely is what I wanted.
And now she's stuck with me.
But we knew that being close to our neighbors had the potential. I mean, then you are affected by what your neighbors do around you. And yeah, we ended up with these crazies on one side.
Hasn't worked out at all.
Holy moly. We had no idea.
Hadn't worked out. It hasn't.
Super, super lucky that we ended up with good neighbors on both sides. Our neighbors on the other side, we don't know them as well.
No, we're all lucky because we have
lucky.
like in this little corner. But the other thing is, we came here and it's like everybody was really friendly and everything. But it's like they got trees. They have a, what's it called? It's not a pergola. What's it called?
Oh, the arbor.
Arbor.
Yeah.
The arbor. And it's kind of like, I think I should have been born in a commune or something. Because I'm like, come over here, have this food.
We were in this corner before anybody else moved in around us. So I said, I don't know what crazies are going to come here. I'm going to assume they're crazy. So we're going to put up an arbor over there and a hedge. We're going to put up an arbor over on that side and a hedge. Because I don't know. I just want to make sure that, like, I got... And then it ended up like we need a little hamster tube between our houses because we're always running back and forth. So it's all fine. But yeah, that idea of being in a gated community where we have much closer connection now with our neighbors.
Well, and it's not even just a gated community because we have a community center where we do cool things, and we are engaged with each other, right?
Completely.
And so it's a different thing. And we've had in the last 6 months, a few kerfuffles where there was a little bit of challenge, and it's kind of like the world has become so divided that you can't have a disagreement without it turning into enemies. And it's like we don't always agree.
Nope.
But and also I never agree with my dogs for barking. But there is a thing where you don't always have to have the same opinion, and you also have to think like it's okay to say. Like when we put in our hot tub, we came and said, is it okay if we put it here?
They absolutely
did.
And
if they had said, don't put it on this side, we would have figured out something else. We would have put it on the front lawn and then embarrassed everybody.
It was going to be, you were going to put it right on the other side of the arbor, and then the builder who was doing it, he's like, well, you know what, their bedroom's right there. And you said right away,
my goodness, I didn't realize.
Yeah. In fact, it would have been fine. But
it's only because we go to bed at like 7:30 at night. So
that's true.
We're never keeping anybody awake.
That's very true. But that's the thing. Like, you guys are so concerned with how is this going to affect someone else, and I mean, we picked this lot, so we're like, well, nothing we do really affects anyone else, so we're okay because we can be a little bit.
But we have to think like it really is a thing, and I'm not saying that you don't get to do what you want, but I think you have to think about wherever you are, whether it's at work, right? Like often we have clients, and granted, we're a service agency, so I mean, I'm going to work this weekend because people were really busy and they didn't get the work they were supposed to get done this week that I could have then done my job and then moved it forward, and it's due on Tuesday, right? So I'm going to work this weekend. Now, this is a situation where they couldn't help it, right?
Right.
But the other side is you accommodate each other when it's like that. Now, if it's a client that's never doing their work and they're always coming to us at the last minute, they're not going to be our client for long. But the thing is, everybody is thoughtless and makes mistakes. But if you're consistently just doing what's right for you and not considering those around you, I don't understand how you stay happy in any community, not just this community, but any community, right?
Yeah, exactly. If your choice, human beings are social animals. We are meant to live in community.
I'm not.
She is. She talks a big game, but we all need to have connection to people. And for us, that was a big draw of this particular neighborhood. We're like, oh, these are all people who have come here to be a little bit away from the hustle bustle of the city. Maybe you want a bit more nature. Maybe you want a bit more opportunity for social events, because we have a fantastic social committee. So social committee, garden committee, everything here is geared for if people want to volunteer and do, more gardening to help out the groundskeeper people. they have that opportunity. If they want to put on social events, they have the opportunity to get involved.
Okay, so the other thing is I think we have to absolutely acknowledge all of the people that are on strata here at the council and that
We
are
are
on the
so
committees.
fortunate.
They are definitely givers. But boy, they work so hard for this community. And so for us, I mean, we're still working, and so we try to support it financially. We buy
I was on
the
council
flowers.
the second year that we lived here. I was on council, and I was just starting to ramp up my editing work a little bit at that time, and I was like, oh, I can't believe how much work this is.
So much work.
And it was only a lot of work because council was kind of sorting out a lot of stuff that particular year, so it ended up, things have settled down now, but I was like, I am utterly, absolutely, I have so much respect and gratitude for people who serve on councils and on committees, because
oh my gosh, so much
it is
effort
a lot of work.
and again, the givers of the community. And I think honestly, I think 90% of this community are givers, and however it works for them, right? It's got to work within your life, because you have to sort your life.
People are only here because they want to be part of that community, and they want to have relationships with their neighbors, and some people end up, I think, probably leaving because maybe they didn't want that level of involvement, or they didn't realize it, or I mean, I think we have, it's unusual here, but we do have one or two that it's probably just an investment property, and in that case this may not be the right place for them, because people want their neighbors. They want to know their neighbors. They want to be engaged with their neighbors. They want neighbors that will be caring what they think about, like, we share this this interface of our yards. How do we want to both make this beautiful?
But that's just it, right? Instead of deciding what you think. And I think this is like our little community is a microcosm, but it is, and I think it's good that you're checking that. But it's really important to step back and think it's not just about me. And I think the challenge right now is the world kind of feels like it's coming at us, so it feels like you have to step in and be protective and territorial. And we really don't. We've got, like, the world, there's so many great people in the world, and the takers are few and far between, but they can hit you hard. Right?
Yeah.
We have more comments?
Oh my God. I just want to stop the
Our
sound.
technology sucks. Come on, Scruffy, you can come up. Come on. Okay, Scruffy's back.
Scruffy's back. Oh yeah. Definitely F the patriarchy.
Who's that from?
Heather,
there's my girl.
Yep. Heather is with us.
Yep.
She is on the
we
team.
love Heather.
She's
but
on
but
the
it
team,
really
man.
but it really is about, like, we were talking about it a lot, and it was like we all have to do things sometimes we know it's not going to be easily accepted by somebody else, and sometimes it's like, I am sorry I can't come to your event. I'm sorry I have to work. I am so sorry, but your dog barks a lot. Sorry, Roxanne. No, not your dog. My dog.
My dog does bark a lot.
No, are you kidding?
Our dogs, they have conversations.
Oh,
he
God.
barks over on that side. She barks over on this side. And you can literally hear them. They're like, did you see that? What happened? There's somebody's walking.
Exactly.
What? Who's
There's
walking?
a rabbit. There's a rabbit. And they go on, and it's really funny, because it's like you can hear both of us going, come here.
Can you shut up now? Come inside. Stop.
So we have and Heather can attest to this. We have a karaoke machine, and sometimes we sing. But you know what we do every time, and we have a 10 o'clock quiet thing here. 10 or 11, whatever
it's
it
probably
is.
10 or 11, but we're done by we're in bed. What are we talking about? We're in bed by 9.
I know, but we're also really respectful, because
we're not in bed
all,
together. Just to clarify, that sounded a little bit weird there for a moment.
but we're always like, and we go to our neighbors, Bev and Rob, and honestly, first of all, I'm not doing karaoke without Roxanne, but we go to our neighbors, Bev and Rob, and we always...
I love karaoke.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's fun. Crack eyes.
Her and Paul
crack eyes.
get like crack addict eyes. When the karaoke machine comes out, they get all twitchy.
Yeah. And we do not sound good together, I'm just going to say. But we really enjoy it.
They have fun.
We really enjoy it.
But we go to our neighbors, Bev and Rob, and we always invite them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we say, is there something you're having that this would get in the way of?
Right.
Because we're on our back porch, because it's not coming into our house. That would be way too loud. But like, you have to just acknowledge all of these things. And you know what? But I think it goes back to the whole thing about taking the slices of pizza or putting your shopping cart back. Like these little things that we can do when you're, you know, if you can just be considerate, the world will change from those little actions, right? And we don't, and there's so much that doesn't happen now, right?
Yeah.
Although I have to say, so when we were on the cruise, there were a couple of times when you saw people who had mobility issues, and there were, I mean, we're in Europe. It's challenging, right?
Europe is not mobility friendly. It's not accessible.
No, it's really hard.
Also, bathrooms. I'm just going to say, you know what? Next time I go, I'm wearing an adult diaper everywhere I go. I just do not want to be stressed about finding a bathroom. I bought an entire outfit because it was easier to buy the outfit than it was to say, I need to think about this, but before I think about this, I really have to pee. So I need to go out and find a restaurant that I can buy something at and then pee so that I can come back and make a decision.
What outfit?
I just bought the outfit. Well, the one that you had to go back and get the necklace for, because I thought I bought the necklace with it.
Wait. So she's blaming going to the bathroom, but then I had to go back to the place because they went to the Vatican, and I've already been twice, I think. So, and I went and got a tattoo, just saying.
She did.
But then it was like I had to go back and get the necklace because she was pressured into buying the outfit.
Oh, there wasn't really a lot of pressure involved, but later when I looked at him, like, but where's the necklace? The necklace was the best part.
Okay, to be fair, we may have had a couple of glasses of...
There was Aperol spritzes and wine and mimosas.
I'm sure that we walked into the store and they were like, we got these too.
Yes. Great outfits. You wait until you see what she bought. She looked fantastic in the outfit that she bought. And she was like, I don't know. I'm like, no, you need to buy this.
Oh my God.
And then someone in Italian
kind of
told her that. And in Italian, it sounds way more compelling when somebody says, you look like a sexy goddess lady. You have to buy this. I don't know what she said, but that was the truth. So you bought the outfit.
I may have had one more Aperol spritz than you did because I don't remember that part.
It's just amazing. So I have, so we were talking because, so this is life being friends with Roxanne, or being married to her for that matter. I have to tell you about the book I'm reading right now. Is a conversation that I have regularly with people because I'm always reading a book and I read a lot. I probably read
oh my God.
two books,
two
books a week probably. At least one book a week. What's the eyes?
You're frightening me.
What's the eyes
Okay,
about?
so I probably read 2 books a month, but holy, 2 books a week? Anyway, but let me tell you. So first Roxanne's like, hey, I'll tell you about this book, and it sounds interesting to me. And I'm like, I promise you, I read...
My husband is like, oh my God, are you doing this again? I can't listen to this anymore. Kill me now. And she's like, oh, tell me more.
But, so I don't read any fiction where they don't have a cell phone. I'm not going historical fiction. I don't want dragons. I don't care about any of that. I want serial killers. But I read a lot of like biographies and political crap. But then Roxanne's like, I'm going to tell you about this book. And one book is like historical fiction and all this stuff, and then the next one is about fantasy stuff, and then she's telling me about like some like I've never met anybody who reads so many genres of books.
I read pretty widely. I read very widely. So I'm going to tell you about a book that I'm currently reading. I'm not finished it yet, but
you have to first say that you're going to do. What are you going to do? Roxy's Reads? What are you doing?
Oh, Roxy's Reads. Yes, Roxy's Reads. So I'll
you didn't explain what that is.
Well, Roxy's Reads. It's the book that Roxy's reading.
So we're going to do a whole little segment, 5 minutes every podcast. Hello, Raymond. Do you want to come in? We're live. Do you want to come and say hello? We have people watching, Ray. Anyway, she's going to do Roxy's Reads, and she's going to talk about books, and we're going to have people on to talk about books. Like that is definitely a possibility, and I may talk about different things like why something works in a book, I won't talk about why something doesn't work, but when something is yes, she will.
Well, as an editor, when I see something that is like, oh my God, she did this so well, I can't believe this, I make a note of it.
Okay, that guy
always.
Walking back there is her husband, so it's okay.
He's mine. He's supposed to be here. So I'm reading a book called Small Gods by an author named Terry Pratchett right now. Terry Pratchett passed away, I think, about, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And he is famous for a series of books called
So much barking.
Discworld. It's fantasy. So the Houston Chronicle described Terry Pratchett as Think J.R.R. Tolkien with a sharper, more satiric edge.
Okay.
All right, doggies. Are we good now? So this particular book is called Small Gods, and it is, so here's a brief description. Lost in the chill depths of space between the galaxies, it sails on forever, a flat circular world carried on the back of a giant turtle. Discworld.
Okay, just for the record, this is my dog.
This is Scruffy. Welcome to Scruffy. Welcome to our world. We don't even think twice when Scruffy like plants his butt on her shoulder because this is just how he lives. Discworld is a land where the unexpected can be expected, where the strangest things happen to the nicest people. Like Brother, a simple lad who only wants a tended melon patch. Until one day he hears the voice of a god calling his name. A small god, to be sure, but bossy as hell. Religion? Hey, you're fine. Religion is a competitive business in the Discworld. Everyone has their own opinion and their own gods of every shape and size, all fighting for faith, followers, and a place at the top. So when the great god Om accidentally manifests himself as a lowly tortoise, stripped of all divine power, it's clear...
Hang on, I have to go deal with our dogs.
He's become less important than he realized. You're all good. Oh my goodness. In such instances, you need an acolyte and fast. Enter Brother, the chosen one, or at least the only one available. He wants peace, justice, and love, but that's hard to achieve in a world where religion means power and corruption reigns supreme. Okay, so that's the setup for this book. And you have to understand, Terry Pratchett's voice is it's a very low-key kind of humor. He talks about things like torture in a very mild way, like, oh, I looked into the pit. They were very busy down there. And so it's funny. You know that
we got a thumbs up.
We got a thumbs up. Somebody's a Terry Pratchett fan down there. So the humor in this book, Small Gods by Terry Pratchett, is only outweighed by the biting wit and social commentary. It's just brilliant. It was originally published in 1992, repubbed in 2009. It's as applicable to today's world as possible for a book about the world being flown through the universe on the back of a turtle. Okay?
Oh yeah, this is a guy with the life is on a turtle.
So the story starts when simple lad Brother hears a voice speaking to him from his garden. Turns out the great god Om now resides in the body of a tortoise, which was grabbed by a hungry eagle, then dropped into Brother's melon patch, where it discovered its one true believer in Brother. No one else can hear Om besides Brother. So Om intends to use Brother to regain his true power. So here's some examples of the text on the eagle versus Om conflict.
Oh my God, she's got pages.
I have pages. It's just 2 pages. So now we're on page 2. So the eagle is right now trying to reclaim Om while Om attempts to hide in the village square. Brother wonders why the tortoise is so scared. It's a god after all. It wants to carry me off to its nest and give me dinner, snarled the tortoise. What do you think it wanted to do? There was a short pause in which it contemplated the futility of sarcasm in the presence of Brother. It was like throwing meringues at a castle.
That's awesome. Meringues at a castle.
Totally. So someone else wonders what goes...
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but the next time somebody wrinkles me, I'm going to throw meringues at their house.
Somebody wonders what goes through the head of a tortoise as it plummets to its death. The great god Om says, "His shell, madam." So here's some comments on novice priests like Brother being kept in groups so as to avoid solitary sins, which are mentioned very obliquely throughout the text. This always puzzled the novices themselves, since a moment's reflection would suggest that there were whole ranges of sins only available in company. But that was because a moment's reflection was the biggest sin of all.
Ooh.
Okay, on religious outrage.
Wait, I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure solitary sins are as bad as group sins.
Ooh, that's a big conversation.
It might be another one because we're already at an hour. But it might be it for another day. But I'd like to talk about this, given the whole group think and what's going on, especially in the U.S. kind of thing. I'd like to go deeper, because I think if they're talking about a solitary sin as freaking masturbation, that's not as bad as storming the Capitol, man.
Right? Like, honestly.
Like, what's a solitary sin?
This is what they're talking about.
Eat too much pizza? Like, seriously.
Exactly. Well, this is it, right? And so many of us have been enculturated to believe that pleasure, especially, did you hear that? Especially solitary pleasure. Oh my God, you're definitely going to hell for that. What the actual
hell
is wrong with that? First of all, well, anyway.
Okay, we're not going into the Frankie and Grace or Grace and Frankie thing, but I do want to, for another time, we'll talk about this, because solitary sin seems kind of harmless compared to the group sin.
Well, and that's exactly the point that he's making here, right? And so then
it was too complicated for me to understand the point just saying.
On religious outrage, Terry Pratchett says, this is considered a reliable barometer of the state of one's piety in most of the really popular religions. There's a tendency to declare that there is more backsliding around than in the National Toboggan Championships, that heresy must be torn out root and branch and even arm and leg and eye and tongue, and that it's time to wipe the slate clean. Blood is generally considered very efficient for this purpose. He's talking about the kind of culture that we're seeing in the U.S. right now. It's that things have never been this bad. We've got to root out this evil. No, you know what? The world is pretty much always how it's always been. Making it seem...
Okay, wait. So I have to say, so when you look at that, that's exactly right. So Rachel Maddow has a book out called Prequel, and that's a good book to read, because everything that's going on in the U.S. right now, it was going on in the U.S. in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s, right? Like that's exactly right. Like, as much as it feels to me, it feels like we're at the edge of the abyss.
Yeah.
Right? I expect our parents and grandparents felt that in other times.
My husband and I watched the,
She keeps saying my husband.
Can't.
Like, it's a role.
It's a role? Well, it is a role.
Everybody who watches this knows us.
My current husband's name is Ray.
She says my husband. It's like, you should say my honey, so that you can just be it could be interchangeable.
So we watched the Ken Burns documentary on Vietnam a couple of years ago, five years ago, and what struck us about that at the time was that all of the outrage that we're seeing now, particularly in the U.S., is exactly what was going on in the 60s.
Yeah. Look at Kent State, right? Like, holy.
Yes, exactly. The difference now is social media and the ability of people to have things immediately at their fingertips. So,
okay, I think you got to finish your book review. Just for the record, I have to say there's one thing in this book that's really important, and then we have to get back to happiness for a while, because we have to say goodbye soon.
This one's funny though. A couple of last. So this is Terry Pratchett's comment on humans being sometimes bored by the miraculous and astounded by the prosaic. You'd think that it would be the other way around, but he says, if this was not the case, then human beings, faced with the daily wondrousness of everything, would go around wearing big, stupid grins, similar to those worn by certain remote tribesmen who occasionally get raided by the authorities and have the contents of their plastic greenhouses very seriously inspected. They'd say, wow, a lot, and no one would do much work. Gods don't like people not doing much work. People who aren't busy all the time might start to think.
Patriarchy.
Keep them busy. Yep. And then the very last one here on religion, his comment, people start out believing in the God and end up believing in the structure. Boom! Mic drop.
Except,
Terry Pratchett.
Wasn't it Brother that also said it's not a religion unless one person believes in it?
A God only lives if one person believes. God only needs one person to believe. So anyway, highly recommended for fans of fantasy and satire. Terry Pratchett, you got to be in the right mood for it, but I was and am in the right mood for it, so I'm
and she
loving
likes to share this, I have to say.
I do.
It's
I
good, but
hey,
it's really good.
We walk the dogs twice a day, and she's like, what do you got for me? I'm like, well, I'm reading this book.
She gives me book reviews, man, on our walks. And mostly I complain about work and that it's not 5
Sometimes
o'clock yet.
Sometimes we walk in silence. I just burped on screen.
Have we ever walked in silence?
Every now and then it happens, and it's like, wow,
Well, normally
something's really
it's
wrong
when one
here.
of us is cranky.
Yeah, and that happens.
Okay,
a lot too.
what are we gonna? We're gonna do our gratitudes. Hey, you need to check because clearly my I'm supposed to be the monitor of all the comments, and I'm clearly not getting anything. So let's check.
So Connie Jones has just posted here, but I don't know if she's watching on live. She says, "Okay, we know you're both amazing cooks. What's the guilty pleasure snack?" Ooh, what a good question.
Oh,
Guilty pleasure snack.
chips.
Oh, absolutely, potato chips. Okay, so I think I
Any
posted
kind of
this
potato
before.
chips.
No. The very best ones are those kettle chips that are truffle.
Oh, truffle. They go really well with
Yeah,
wine.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
So absolutely, the truffle chips. Thank you, Connie. That's a great question.
That's a good question.
Because
That's good.
guilty pleasure snacks, that is my life. That is, yeah.
But we're not that guilty.
They're not guilty.
I should be more guilty about it. I should
And
stop.
right now, so we're going to be making pizza after this, but I cut up some of the. So we're in the airport in Rome, about to catch our flight to come home, and we're going through, all the duty-free shops, and she says, "Oh, you have to buy these tomatoes, these sun-dried tomatoes. They're the best things ever." And I'm like,
So
tomatoes, whatever. I guess I have to.
So Roxanne is very good at humoring me, right? Because I'm like, this, oh my God, this. And she's like, yeah, okay, they're freaking dried tomatoes, man.
I get sun-dried tomatoes at Costco. Are these really better? So then I opened up the bag today because I thought, I guess I better try them because, I brought them
I'm
back.
a pain in the neck.
And they are unbelievable. They're like salted dried tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes that are somehow, so that's not, there's nothing guilty about that. They're delicious. They're tomatoes with salt and oil or something. I don't know.
They're
Anyway,
there's something, if you're anywhere in Italy, just get their dried tomatoes in a bag, man. Just do it.
Yeah, they're just
right?
magical. So,
That's a good one.
yeah.
Oh, is that going to be your grateful?
Well, that is something definitely to be grateful for.
Also, she brought
more?
lemon salt, and it's really good. And I'm sad I didn't buy it.
I did. It's so good, and I wish I would have bought more of it.
I know. We'll have to learn how to make it. Okay,
Lemon
so
salt?
let's just go back to, we need you guys to guess how many, I keep doing the wrong camera, how many pastries Roxanne tasted. So you get the little olive oil gift. So you have to do it. 2 weeks from now we'll be back on. So, but you have to do it because we're going to tape next Friday. So they actually have to do it by next Thursday.
And, oh my God, women,
we
have
got
a
something.
salad does not count as a guess.
Wait. Oh, your sister is here. I know you're there,
yay.
Beverly. I see you. Wait,
Yay.
No, I did not get you sun-dried tomatoes, but I'll send you half my package, sweet cheeks. I will send you half my package because you're my sister and I love you. But we will absolutely do that. But yes, I'll send you some because they are amazing.
They're amazing.
I got you a bunch of spices, and I got you a Greek worry bead thing, and I got you a few other things. Yes. Okay, so what are we grateful for, Rox? So we're going to have to go as much as
Yeah.
So, okay, but the other thing is this more fun? Hang on. Is this more fun that we're live, or do you like the recorded stuff better? So somebody has to tell us, even though we only have 3 people, and we need 17 more people so we can go freaking live on YouTube. So we're going to have to,
we would
work
like
harder.
to start, doing
YouTube
live
would be
on YouTube.
easier.
Yeah. And obviously our plan is to go with an actual podcast distributor.
Yeah, we're
going to
do the audio soon in the next few months. We're going to
the more you
become
share
grown-ups.
this with people,
Please.
the more it helps grow our audience. And
So
help
I do actually
send us
have
to more
something.
people.
So I just saw a thing, and I'm going to get. We'll put the book in the show notes. But so they're talking about an epidemic of loneliness in North America.
Yes.
Right? And I think the whole point of this podcast is we're really lucky that we get to do this. And as much as we really like hanging around each other, it's also adds a layer of more when you guys are here, right? And life is fun.
The whole point is to reach out and expand our community and say, this is us. This is our one wild life that we have to live. Let's share it with each other. Let's share the joy. Let's share the commiseration of the, like our what do they say? Shared sorrows are halved, but shared joys are doubled
tripled or something. Yeah, but
right?
that's just
so,
it, right?
Yeah. So let's air and share our grievances. Get rid of them together, and then let's multiply the joy together.
Yeah. But and start being the ones that are out there, being the givers, and you know what, learning how something's happening in the world and we have to stop it, and we only stop it by little pieces like this.
Yeah.
Right? Because honestly, the grown-ups out there that we elected aren't stopping it, so we have to do it ourselves.
There's a flood of negativity out there. There's a flood. Doom scrolling is real. Doom scrolling is deadly. And we're trying to be a little tiny piece of something in there that makes joy more likely in your life. So if this has brought you some joy, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We're going to do our gratefuls.
Friends.
Go check to see who's still talking.
I'm getting all. Can you hear it? I'm getting all
You're
scratchy
getting all-
now. My voice is
I
disappearing.
thought you were getting all verklempt.
like verklempt? No,
yes.
it's not that.
Okay, so we're going to do our gratefuls after we see.
God.
So my sister's here and you can't come, but who else is on here? Is Erin still here? Erin, are you here?
It's like I've forgotten.
Oh,
how
Heather's
to use
there.
Facebook.
Heather, you're in the community. Beverly, if you were here, we would invite you. Heather, do you want to come over for pizza? Erin, are you there? Do you want to come for pizza? I don't know who else is there because I'm inviting everybody to your house now.
I'm inviting my sister from Saskatchewan to come
for
over.
pizza.
Yes.
But it's kind of hard. But if you guys want to come, just head over. We're going to make pizza now. We're going to drink more bubbles. But if you want to come and continue.
Oh,
here
God.
she goes again.
Oh, here we go again. Here it is again.
Okay.
I just want to stop.
Okay, we're going to sign off soon, and I have to get up and sign off in front of the camera. What are you doing? Okay. Anyway, keep messaging us, and if you're coming for pizza, freaking tell us. Okay, what are you grateful for, Roxanne?
I'm so grateful for technology that works. When technology works.
Okay.
This week I have replaced my mouse. I've replaced my cell phone case. I have replaced a cord for something or other that wasn't working.
Life is hard
Technology's
for
not
you.
been my friend.
Life is hard
so
for
when
you.
it works, I am like, yay!
Okay.
Right
I'm
on.
grateful that people actually showed up and it wasn't just me and you talking to each other and on
too.
live.
Me too.
Wait,
That's
who's
fantastic.
talking? Wait. Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Heather says she made
bye.
it all. Awesome.
Okay, what do
Thanks,
we
you
want
guys,
more
for
of,
coming.
Roxanne?
More happy hours. What do you want less of, Ruth?
Less bullshit. Thank you
Yay.
for coming.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Okay,
We'll see you in a
talk to
couple
you
weeks.
soon. Okay, bye.